One more thing on the subject he raised was how do we raise money? Yeah. You know, and that's the question you are asking me. Yeah. We can stretch taxes so far. We can stretch debt so far. For us in Kenya, we have said we will be very, very careful on matters to do with stretching taxes or stretching debt, because both have consequences. Yeah. And therefore, it requires government to think, you know, outside the box and become more innovative. How do we leverage on instruments that can be used for the development of a nation that limits or that reduces our exposure to debt or pushing citizens for taxes? And we have discovered some of them. You know, we have assets that we can deploy in a better way. Let me give you an example. You've just mentioned there about a big stadium we have built. In fact, we are using what we call the sports fund, which is a fund that has been there now, I think, for 10, 15 years. For 10, 15 years, this fund has not achieved much, except do a gate somewhere, do cabro someplace, you know, a small thing somewhere. What we have done is that we have turned that fund into using leveraging on the capital markets through securitization. That fund is now building for us the largest stadium in Nairobi, which is going to host AFCON next year, about $300 million. And another almost $200 million to build another 20 stadia across Kenya. Because sports, Kenya is a sporting nation. Yep. So many people are asking me, but where has this money come from? Have you gone to borrow more money? What have you done? So, innovative financing. Let me give you another example before we go to your question. We are building another huge conference facility. In fact, the next time these good people come to Kenya from August this year, they will be having this session, or whatever session they will be coming, in Bomas of Kenya. We're building another close to 350 million conference facility. Again, we haven't borrowed any money from nobody. We've used our own instruments that have always been there. The tourism levy, which has been there now for 20 years. And if you ask, what has this